Hello, Triple J here from Buddy Automotive Innovations, here to tell you about the new features we introduced in BidBuddy version 6.1 and the new features right now in version 6.1.1. That being the pending quantity on hand. So a great feature that we added in 6.1 was the pending quantity on hand to our BidBuddy. I'm going to go ahead and open up this 2010 Escape here. And we're going to see a quantity on hand count for the engine of 81. A little bit high. Don't forget I have test data in my system here. If I hover over that 81, I can see that the local quantity on hand is 27. I've got 27 of these parts in stock in my yard. I have 24 that are on their way to the yard from the auction that I've already purchased. My apps partners have 30 in stock. And a brand new feature with version 8.1.1 that we've just released here is the apps pending. So that's all my apps partners that have stock that they've won that hasn't been inventoried in their systems yet as well. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this engine assembly. There's the same breakout. We've got 27 in my stock, 24 pending, 30 from my apps partners. And because it's a new feature, I don't have data for it yet, but the apps pending as well. I can see those 24 parts right here in my stock. Here's my pending quantity hand. So these are the vehicles that I've won at the auction, but haven't been inventoried in my system yet. So this allows us to make our bids more accurate by including the inventory that we've already bought but haven't put in our systems yet. Now, while looking at this data, if we notice, hey, I inventoried that car, I can say mark vehicle inventoried. It's going to ask you to confirm it and say yes. Now, this will automatically mark vehicles inventoried and take it off your pending quantity in hand as long as it has a 17-digit VIN number on file. If we have a 17-digit VIN in your IMS and a 17-digit VIN in the BidBuddy record, it matches two together automatically when you run an IMS download. And if it sees more than a certain number of part types based on your settings, it'll mark that vehicle inventoried by default. So by default, it's 10. So if I find 10 parts under this stock number in your inventory system when we run an IMS download, it'll automatically remove that vehicle from the pending quantity on hand totals. The 8.1.1 release will also include the pending quantity on hand breakouts for your apps partners and the apps IC history tab as well. So this is a great way for us to determine what we've got coming into the yard that hasn't been inventoried yet, and allows us to make our bids that much more accurate so we're not double buying stuff as it's not put into the yard yet. I want to show you the settings for this real quick as well. If I go to Settings tab, then Count Settings, I'm going to go to the Filters tab. There's 3 new settings here. So include pending quantity on hand. When it's got a 17-digit VIN, I want to include the pending quantity on hand for up to, by default, it's 180 days here. So once a car has been in past 180 days, it will drop off our pending quantity on hand. It could have been a rebuilder car that you missed that you didn't mark as inventoried. It could be a vehicle that just hasn't been inventoried yet as well. And there's that 10 part types by default. So once the inventory system sees 10 parts in stock, it'll automatically mark that car inventoried. I might want to suggest you lower this to maybe 2 perhaps. That way if you were to pre-inventory 1 or 2 part types off of the BidBuddy before the car is actually inventoried, it will stop double counting them. Also, because we're catching up at this point as it's a new feature, you may have some vehicles that have been in stock for 180 days that you've already sold the majority of parts off of and have less than 10 in stock. So having this down to like 2 or 3 part types, running your IMS download will help clean out some of that backlog of data that's been in your system. Now, in order for the system to automatically remove the vehicles after they've been inventoried, we need that 17-digit VIN. Without the 17-digit VIN, I have no way to accurately know if the car is inventoried or not that you bid on. So it'll only include pending quantity on hand for up to 30 days by default if it doesn't have a 17-digit VIN on file. And there's just no way for us to automatically know if that car has been inventoried, so we rely on you to mark those cars manually inventoried. So those are the settings for it. And you'll notice on the Vehicle Details tab, these 2 boxes have been here for quite a while. They haven't really been used now. If I was to say inventoried in IMS, that takes this vehicle off the pending quantity on hand. Same thing as that button it did before when I said mark inventoried. And if you wanted to, the IMS stock number will automatically come in as well when it matches that VIN number up, just for your reference number there. So that is the new features that we have in 6.1 and 6.1.1 in BidBuddy with a pending quantity on hand, hoping to make your buying decisions even better. Thanks for watching, and we hope to continue on.